Hey guys, right before we start the video, I just wanted to give you a little heads up that the prices for the private Discord group is going to be going up starting 15 hours from now. Now, I'm not trying to get you guys to FOMO join, okay? If you can't afford it right now, take it easy. There's going to be many more chances, right? The price is not going to double. But for the people who are interested and are maybe on the fence, just a little heads up that the prices are going to be going up. And now let's get into the video. What's up everybody, welcome back to the Art of Crypto, the birthplace of absolutely legendary gains. In this video, we are going to discuss exactly what AXS is going to do. Is it going to go to $100? Maybe in this video, we are going to discuss exactly what AXS is going to do. And if you are planning to take a trade on AXS, it would be very advisable if you watch this video first to identify if AXS is going to continue going to, to the moon, or is it going to start dumping. But right before we dive right into it, if you haven't already followed me on Twitter at _the Art of Crypto, this is where I'm sharing the latest market updates, as well as this NFT play that I believe you guys could keep an eye out for. The artwork is amazing and it has a lot of hype. I will leave the Discord link of this NFT project in the description box below, so make sure you check it out. Not shilling this as, a financial play, but it just looks like a promising project. So if you guys are interested in getting into NFTs, which if you're looking at AXS, you should be familiar with NFTs to some extent. If you just want to get in, this project could be one to look out for. But anyways, let's dive right into it, shall we? So at the moment, we have just broken out of a period of consolidation from AXS. And what I mean by that is that if there is one thing that you have to understand about markets, is that markets tend to move in periods of expansions and consolidations. So all I simply mean by that is what happens is, you get periods of expansion, right? That is pretty self-explanatory. And then you start consolidating and then you get expansions. And by consolidation, right? Like this might just look like a downtrend to you guys, but you have to learn to spot this on the charts. If you are able to learn how to spot these consolidation patterns, then you're going to be much more successful when it comes to trading, because it doesn't matter if you don't need to catch the exact bottom of anything in order to make money. Most of the money, in fact, is made in the middle. So you have to learn how to spot these consolidation patterns yourself. So what I mean by consolidation patterns, right now I'm on the 8-hourly chart. What I recommend you guys to do is to go onto the 4-hourly chart. And if you are a beginner trader, I really do not recommend you to go anything below 4-hourly. At most, right, the lowest you could go is like the 1-hourly, right? I don't really recommend anything below that, because what you have to understand is the markets move. And yes, some people have made fun of me for this, but I do believe that every market moves because it is manipulated, right? Forex, stocks, whatever. Retail traders are not going to be the ones who are moving the markets like this. In order to get AXS from $1 and basically to make it go up to $6 is a matter that requires multiple tens of millions, maybe multiple hundreds of millions. And even if all retail traders were to get together, it would be hard pressed for the retail to move the markets this much. So this is why it's really important to start to be able to see what the institutions are trying to do, because they're the ones who's playing with hundreds of millions of dollars. And yes, I do agree that news does move the market to some extent, but I'm getting way off track here. So let's get back to AXS. And when you are trading something as volatile as AXS, you have to look for these kinds of consolidation patterns. Now, you don't need to catch the exact bottom of something, but what you can do is you can catch the breakouts out of consolidation periods. And for example, something like that is what you call, a triangle, right? All you need to do, would be a falling wedge, in fact, and all you need for something to be considered a pattern is 2 touches on any trend line, right? So notice how we have 2 touches here. This is already valid. So you try to catch these breakouts out of the consolidation patterns, because usually what follows after consolidations is expansion, right? Similar to how we're getting it here. And you got expansion over here, right? And then you got consolidation, right? This is what you call a falling wedge, or, a falling trend line, bull flag, whatever, right? It doesn't matter what's the name, but you have to train your eye to try to spot these so that you can take advantage of it. Back then, if you realize, I was telling you guys, really do not short AXS until you get a very clear break in market structure. And this is why, because AXS is so bullish that pretty much since the 1st of July, it's just been forming consolidation patterns and it's just been breaking out. And if you were trained to spot this rather than trying to short something just because, hey, this thing went up by 2x in 2 days, definitely must not go higher than that. No, who said that? That's just what you think. And similarly, just because something dumped by 90% doesn't mean that it's not going to dump another 90% on top of that. So never base your trades off of just, hey, it pumped 100%, so it has to go back down 100%. Never do that, right? Just play what the charts are telling you, right? If the charts are telling you that this is consolidation, then you have to expect a big move coming soon. And so in this case, if you are trading AXS right now, I would not recommend you to short until you see very specific things happen on the charts. So let's discuss the trade entries now. That's what everyone here is trying to, that's basically what everyone here is trying to find out, yeah? So when it comes to trading AXS, what you want to look out for is a consolidation pattern, as I've said, right? If you weren't already in AXS, then maybe you want to look for AXS to form something like another falling wedge. That is what it has liked to do. In fact, I could draw many falling wedges. Basically, everything moves, just off of patterns, right? You could make a really good living just trading patterns. Look at how many falling wedges that I've been able to draw thus far, just completely randomly, right? Over here, I wouldn't call this a falling wedge. It's more like a breakout and a retest. But ideally, you would want to look for AXS to pull back to this $46 range, because over here is what you call a bullish order block. And this is basically just an area of untapped liquidity that institutions like to push the price to. If you do get a pullback of AXS back to about this level, which I'm going to mark down right now at about $47.46-ish, right? $47.50. If you do get a pullback there, then that's going to be a pretty good entry, right? This zone right here, this block, is going to be sort of your entry zone that you're going to want to look to get AXS. However, am I saying that it's going to pull back to that level? No, not exactly. I'm just saying if it does, then that would be it would be a good level to start looking for buys. And alternatively, you can also mark down this level at $53, and if the price were to come back down here and find support, then you would know that previous resistance has flipped into support, and that is a very bullish sign for AXS. And if it does hold this level, then expect it to go on to $100. But who knows, maybe we might go to $100 just off of this alone, right? Maybe tomorrow it's going to be at $100, who knows? And that is why I ask you guys not to short until you get a break in structure, which I'm going to get into right now. But right before I get into that, if you feel like you've learned a thing or two since watching this video, it would help me so much if you could just drop a like button. It's a small gesture, but it really means a lot to me. So right now, I've already discussed which two areas that you're going to want to start looking to buy AXS at potentially if you do get a pullback, right? If you don't, then look for the consolidation patterns and then buy the breakout of that. And the way you do that is, you buy the breakout, right? Basically, as it breaks out, you buy along with the breakout. Alternatively, you will buy the retest. Now, you don't often get a retest, right? You don't get it all the time, but if you do get it, that's a pretty good entry. So example on the 4 hourly right here, I know this is not the most beautiful pattern. This is only like what, 4 candles? But notice how after the price broke out, it actually came back down to try to retest the previous the previous resistance. So this is what you call a bullish retest. If you do get something like this, then that is going to be a very good entry, similar to how you buy the retest of this area, right? This is what you call a bullish retest. And generally, when you buy the breakout and, a bullish retest, it's generally pretty safe entries, because you could set your stop loss literally right below the, right below the pattern, right? Or a recent swing low. So in this case, if I were to buy the breakout of AXS, where is it? Yeah, over here, I would just set my stop loss right below this recent swing low. And if the price does fall back down here, then I would know that the pattern that I was looking at has been invalidated, and I'll just get out with a tiny loss. Because, you might not believe it, but most of the best traders in the world are wrong about half the time, and yet they're still wildly profitable. So it's okay to be wrong, right? It's perfectly fine to be wrong. But what's not okay is for any single mistake to wipe out your account. So here's what you want to look for when you start shorting, like when you want to start looking for AXS to short. Basically, what you want to do is you want to look for a break in market structure. Hopefully, ideally, you want to do this on the daily chart. Now, this is starting to look like a blow off top, I'm not going to lie, but we're not going to jump to conclusions here. So what you want to do is you want to hop onto the daily chart, and let me just remove everything from now, right? I hope you guys marked down the levels already. If you haven't already, then make sure you rewind just a little bit and mark down those levels. So when you are looking for a short, right, I just want to draw this so that you can visualize it. You want to imagine the market in terms of highs and lows. So for example, if I draw just from here, from this low right here. This is a low, that's a high, that's a low, that's a high, that's potentially a low, that's a high, low. Technically, you could say this whole thing was one move and then low. This whole thing is one move, low, and then now you get to here. So if you do it like this, right, it becomes really easy to visualize the markets. And all you have to do, right, all trading is you just have to understand this. So when you are looking for a short, you want to look for a break in market structure. So in this case, if I zoom back in, then what you want to do is you want to identify where is the previous swing low. So for example, all it needs to be to be considered a swing low is for the low of this middle candle to be lower than the two candles right next to it. So this is already your swing low. So I'm just going to mark down this level as the swing low. So what you want to do is you want to look for preferably a break of the $40 level, right? Only when AXS breaks $40 should you start shorting, okay? Because you might argue, hey, if I short here, what if I miss out on this part right here? And that is a valid argument, but you have to think about it this way. What if, right, what you're doing, right, before you break 40 is what you're doing is trying to predict the market top. And if you're confident in your ability to do that, then I'm not going to stop you, right? Go for it. By all means, go for it. But what I would argue is that, remember how I said in the beginning that you do not have to catch the exact bottoms or the exact tops to make money. Because in the process of this massive run up, imagine if you were just to buy, like, there's like what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like what, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 like consolidation patterns during this entire run up. And if you didn't catch the bottom, then you just buy the breakout of one of these consolidation patterns. Like, there is no need to catch the bottoms or to catch the tops in order to make money. In fact, most of the money is made in the middle. So imagine if you do this, then you're going to be catching like what, 50%? But imagine, let's say you break market structure here and then you buy and then you short the pullback, then you're still going to be catching like what, at least 20 something percent, maybe 60%. You don't need to catch the exact tops. So stop trying to short, stop trying to catch the exact tops, because what's going to happen is you're probably just going to get wrecked. And I am sure many people can attest to how they have been wrecked by AXS because of how crazily this thing moves. Like, just in the last day, it has pumped by 76%, by the way, 76%. I don't care what kind of leverage you're using in order to short, but anything above 2x is going to get liquidated, yeah? So just don't try to be catching tops, man, especially on a coin as volatile as AXS, right? You always look for market structure breaks. So back onto the daily chart, what we want to ideally see is a market structure break of 40, but ideally 37, right? This again is still going to be the level that you're going to want to pay attention to, right? Because if you just look at this swing, this is beautiful. So what happens, right? The reason why I'm telling you guys that this is important is because once you break the swing low, let's visualize this together, right? Imagine you break the swing low and then you come up for a retest and then you form this, right? The moment you form this, so over here you form your lower high, over here you form your lower low, and in here you form another lower low, and you can see where this is going, right? This just means that it's going to start dumping, right? That means that distribution has already happened and the market has turned into a downtrend. So this is what you want to start looking for if you are shorting. Otherwise, if you're buying, then just do what I taught you to do just now. Look for consolidation patterns and just buy the breakout. I'm not going to get into order blocks in this video because frankly it's going to be too long of a video if I do that, but here is the other argument that I want to make in favor of not catching the tops, right? Imagine if you break market structure here, then over here is going to be your bearish order block, right? Or maybe somewhere about here, right? If you start dumping here, then your bearish order block is going to be somewhere about here, right? Let's just visualize it. So imagine if market starts dumping here, comes up here, right? You form your lower high, and then you break structure here, right? This could have been your entry. So please just play the order blocks, right? If you don't know what are order blocks, go watch my previous videos. Even the most recent Cardano video that I did get quite in depth into order blocks and institutional ways of trading and how institutions like to push price in between order blocks. So it's really important when you're dealing with a coin that pumps this much and that is in price discovery that you do not try to fight the trend, okay? As a trader, the trend is your best friend. You never fight the trend because sure, during an uptrend, you might make good money shorting, right? Maybe you might have made 50%. But imagine if you just focused on longs, right? That's 100% right there, right? Imagine if you focused on longs, bam, that's another 100%. If you somehow caught the bottom, bam, that's like 13x. right? During an uptrend, always go with the trend, right? If you're in a downtrend, then sure, go for it. Short it by all means. That is where the money is going to be made, because if you were shorting, even if let's say you don't catch the exact tops, then or the exact bottoms, then that's 60% down. But look, during the pullback, that's like, okay, it's still pretty good, but you get the point. During an uptrend, never try to fight it, right? You only short once it starts shifting into a downtrend. There's one thing that you can understand through watching this video. If you can just understand how to identify when market has shifted into a bearish market, then my job here is done, right? As long as you can identify that, you're going to have such like way more success trading. So at the end of the day, am I trying to give you an entry? Yeah, sure. I gave you the bullish entries. I taught you how to identify the bullish structure and to buy the breakout. And when you're shorting, you're going to want to pay attention to both of these levels. But at the end of the day, I can't be here making an update video literally like every 12 hours or even every day. So there are some things that you're going to have to rely on yourself. Of course, if you want the latest market updates that I cannot post on YouTube, then you're going to want to follow me on Twitter at _theartofcrypto. Make sure you check out this NFT play. I'll leave it in the link in the description. But that is where I'm going to be sharing, you know, hey, if we do get market structure break, then I'm gonna let you guys know. But until then, right, just keep playing the trend. And if you have been watching my videos for quite some time now and you realize, hey, this guy seems to know what he's doing and he seems to be right a lot of the time, and if you just want to learn how to do the things that I do, then I'm just going to do a really humble pitch of the private Discord group. Over here, you're going to get access to a trading course where I lay down everything that I've learned over the years. And if you want to figure out exactly what works in trading and discard 90% of the things that don't, then you're going to want to check out the private Discord group. And in addition to that, as a bonus, you're going to get access to daily profitable trading setups where people are making money literally every single day. Like, look at all of this. We have been killing it, and there have been multiple people in this group that have already paid off their membership in just a couple of trades. So just a really little heads up. The price for the Discord group is going to be rising tomorrow. I'm not trying to get you guys to FOMO, okay? I'm not trying to get you guys to FOMO. This is not a sales tactic, right? This is just something that I'm doing in regards to the long-term health of not just myself, but for the Discord group as well. And, you know, this group is just going to get better and better as time goes on, right? It's only been open for like, what, 3 months? I've only been at YouTube for like 4 months. Just a little heads up. If you were on the fence, perhaps now is the time to get in before prices go up. And if you do not have enough funds, please do not FOMO. This is not a sales tactic, okay? I'm not trying to take your money. I'm just giving you guys a heads up that the price is going to go up, okay? That's all I'm trying to do. And with that said, for all of you still in this video, I really want to know who are the real ones who actually took the time to make sure they are well educated before jumping into the market. So for those of you who are still here, I want you to comment down in the comment section bullish, because AXS is still incredibly bullish and we should not be shorting it. We should be looking for buys until proven otherwise. So let me know who are the real ones. And with that said, my friend, may the gains be with you. I'm gonna see you in the Discord group for those of you who are joining, and peace.